I always did advocate for love, peace, and unity, but it's very, very personal now.
From tragedy to action as Jefferson Parish family fights for change following the death of a loved one.
Well, next Wednesday will mark a full year since 20-year-old Orin Grant Sr. was killed in a targeted attack of gun violence. Now his father, who happens to be a pastor, wants his son's shooting to make an impact for others.
Mike McDaniel's joining us in the studio tonight to explain what the pastor is doing. Such a sad story, Mike.
Yeah, and instead of letting grief get the best of him and his family, Orin Grant Sr. has spent the last year trying to make a difference, specifically in Jefferson Parish where he lives. Now, getting there hasn't been really easy, and it comes with tragedy.
Right there on that black stool.
Reverend Orin Grant Sr. can still see his son playing the drums from his pulpit at St. Paul Baptist Church in Gretna.
Sometimes in service, we'll stop and look at him and say, man, beat them drums.
His 20-year-old son was more than just his partner in ministry. He was his only biological son and namesake, Orin Grant Jr. That bond was shattered August 2nd, 2022.
He was murdered by gun violence. And so even now when I hear gunshots, it's a different sound.
Grant Jr. was killed outside a home on Pellet Avenue in Harvey. According to investigators, he was lured outside and shot. No one has been charged with his death.
I'm walking by faith and not by sight, and I'm trusting in the process.
As the investigation continues, Grant Sr. is using his 23 years in ministry to preach a message that goes beyond church walls.
We're fighting a good fight. We want to save our youth.
Soon after his son's death, Grant Sr. created His Beat Goes On, a movement of community engagement, rallies, and vigils to honor his son and end gun violence.
I always did advocate for love, peace, and unity, but it's very, very personal now. And so that's what motivates me, inspires me, and encourages me.
It's not always easy. Thoughts of his basketball and music-loving son are always on his mind.
I go to his bedroom. Sometimes I just lay on his bed. Sometimes I just call his name, say, Orin.
When it gets tough,
your life is hid with Christ in God.
He leans on his faith and family, praying no other family will be victimized by gun violence.
It's been a challenging journey. We've had highs and lows, ups and downs. His memory is forever with us.
Grant Sr. told me there has been some progress in his son's case, so he is hopeful an arrest will happen, and hopefully soon. In the meantime, he says he's not going to stop working with community leaders and kids to do what he can in the fight against gun violence. The family plans to have a private vigil next week on the one-year mark. Therese?
All right, Mike, thank you so much. Well, the boy is